Hi, this is Joy with Obsessed with Scrapbooking, and today we're going to learn how to weld letters and images in the Cricut Craft Room, and then how to shadow those welded letters and images. So let's get started. If you just want to do letters, an easy and quick way to weld is to go over to this left-hand section and click on the font option, and then go ahead and click Add New Text Box. So I'm going to go ahead and add Joy. And that comes up right away. I've got Kate's ABCs here. And let's make sure I got Kate's ABCs here. And I got this baby girl font. And I'm going to change it to baby girl font 2. The next thing I'm going to do is increase the font size to 2 inches so you can see it nice and easily. So now it's at 2 inches. And then the box underneath it is called letter spacing. And letter spacing refers to the space between each letter. I'm going to use the down button here to make those letters closer. So I just keep clicking closer and closer and closer till they're touching. Once they're touching, then you know it's going to weld. And you can see it sort of changed color. See, if we go back out, it's got that black outline around it. Well, if I go closer, the black outline goes away, and that tells us it's going to weld. Now that Y just has a little hair attaching it, and I know that's not going to go so well later, so I'm going to make that a little bit tighter. So I decrease my letter spacing a little bit more. Let's go to 5. That's nice and close. So that's a quick way to go ahead and weld fonts alone. Now, there's a second way to weld, and this way's also pretty fast. And you can also then add some other shapes. So let's get started with that. Down here, I've got Kate's ABC selected again, and the baby girl font 2 selected, and I've got it shifted, so we've got the big letters. I'm going to go ahead and first thing before I really get started is click on my matte layer button, and I'm going to then do this again. So I'm going to hit J, and it asks me, do I want a new layer? I do want a new layer because the previous layer was this first example I did. So I want a new layer, and here I've brought it in, and it's going to be this purple. Let's move it over so you can see it. And then I'm going to do an O, and I'm going to keep that on the same purple layer. Things need to be on the same layer if you're going to weld them. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that O over, and I'm just eyeballing it. And as you see, a little box comes up that says weld or don't weld. We want to weld, so no, you don't even have to do anything, just as long as they're touching. And then let's get the Y, and we'll say, yes, I want that on a current layer. And I just bring this over. And then you could say to me, well, Joy, how do you know these are going to line up? Because maybe, look, that Y is higher than the O. How do we fix that? Well, let's see what the O's at. And we find that out. We look up here at these boxes, and I'm sure you guys all remember graphing in junior high and high school. What we're interested in here is this Y number, because the Y is the up and down number, and this is at 1.069. So let's get everything at 1.069, and a quick and easy way to do that is let's click on the Y. We know that's too high, and I'm going to use the arrow buttons on my keyboard and just press the down button repeatedly till I get 1.069. So let's press that. Oops, I pressed too many times. And now I'm at 1.069 for the Y, and then let's do the same thing for the J. Oh, the J is already at the right size, or the right height. Okay, so we are set to go. So that was pretty fast way to weld also. Now this Y is a little bit closer than that Y, as you can see. Maybe you like that, maybe you don't. Let's move it out a little bit. The thing about doing it by hand like this is you can make things thicker. So as you can see in this example, we have spacing here. And that's, it's only attached up here. Here I have a little more leeway. So just something to know. Now let's go ahead and add our shadow. So to get to my shadow, I'm going to press Baby Girl Font 2 Shadow down here in the overlay. That brings up my shadow. And then I'm going to drag that onto the mat. I need a new layer because that's going to go behind. And I'm trying to weld things in different layers. Now for some reason they give me purple again. I don't want purple. I'd like black, I think. So to get black, black is 0 red, 0 green, and 0 blue. So I'm just going to key in these numbers here. So that's another way you can see. And this is just so you can see better. So here comes my black, and how do I want to see this underneath the purple, but look, it's on top. So what do? We go back over to matte layers, and we highlight this button by clicking on it, this layer that's black, and we pull it down one layer so it'll be underneath the purple. So how this works is, whatever is on the bottom of this list is the bottom layer. So since black is underneath the purple, it will be now underneath the purple when we look here. So as you can see, now I can slide it around. And what you can do here is you can just eyeball this if you want. Or you could also, you see I'm a little thick up here, so I'm going to use my down arrow. Oh, that worked perfect. Okay, and then I just grab my O. I'm going to keep it on the same black layer, because those are going to be welded together. That's going to be the shadow weld. And then I can just eyeball this, and then I'm going to do the Y. I'm going to do current layer again, because I want that to be on the black layer. And I'm going to put this behind here, and look how fast that went. Now, I prefer this method to the text box method because I like to be able to set this up how I want to. I don't want it just connected up here, I want it over here. But either method works. And the handy thing about the text method is it's real easy to change fonts and see what you might like or not like. Okay, now we've welded words, we've welded these words together, that's great. Hey, how about I want to weld a butterfly onto the end of this joy. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to still have baby girl font shadow, and I'm going to drag this butterfly up here. And I'm going to keep it on the current black layer because this is the shadow of the butterfly. And then I go ahead and I just move this over so it's touching the Y. I'm going to move it over a little bit more because I'm a little close here on the end. And the weld not weld box comes up. Of course, it defaults to weld, which is what we want. And I just click that. Now that's attached. And let's go ahead and see what that butterfly is going to look like. So I'll hit Baby Girl Font 2. I'll bring up the original, the top layer of the butterfly. I'm going to drag that on. This time I want a new layer because I want a different color. I want to see how the butterfly is going to look. So it comes up as red. It just selects these things. And then I'm going to layer this on here. I'm not welding this to anything. It's just so you know. This is just its own. This is like, let's take a look and see what's going on. I happen to know that the butterfly also has a wing. So I hit shift and I get my wing, and I want that on a new layer so I can get a different color and see what that looks like. And I just pull this over, and there you go. So in this scenario, what's welded is the black layer, so the larger joy and the back of the butterfly is all welded. The purple layer is all welded, and then this red and this orange is not welded. Those would just be layered on by hand. So I hope that helps you learn how to weld and work with your images and letters. Have a wonderful day.